Welcome back to R for Economics. In the previous video, we looked at how to generate matrices and vectors. Now we're going to say, can we make a matrix and a vector from a data frame? The answer is, of course, yes. So let's bring our favorite data frame, the empty cars database. There it is. And then we're going to say, take a subset of this, a small portion of this, and subset it. And we can see that this is 2 to 5, so 1, 2 to 5, and column 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that should be from here down to here. And we can see that that's true. Okay, oh, sorry, and there. Okay, so you can see that this is taking this subset that's right here. Now, what else can we do with this? Well, we've got these names on there, and what if we want to remove those? Well, row names is equal to null. Bam. Now we're back to what we usually see for a matrix. And then we can actually generate matrices and subset, so we can edit interior values or any values in there by just simply taking a describing the array and describing the vector, and it'll fill it in. And then if it gets to the end of the vector that we want filled in, it will continue from the beginning. So if we did this as 3 and ran it again, it says that there's not enough entries. So we have to make sure that we've actually got all the entries, and it'll change it. Okay. Matrix multiplication is an important one. Now, the number of, for the first element, the number of columns must equal the number of rows in A. So this is a 4 by 4 matrix, so it will always work. Okay. And then, but if it was of a different dimensions, then it would not work. So if we tried to multiply it times a vector, which we could generate. So let's see what that does. So if we want to multiply, so let's see what R does when it's got a vector. So this is a BMAT. We're going to take the first column and generate it. And this is an R vector. Notice that it doesn't have the column identifiers anymore. And the class of it is numeric. And we're going to multiply BMAT with these matrix multiply. So this percent means multiply as if you're a matrix. And we can see that that works. And we can see that that comes out that way. If we reverse these, let's see what happens. So if we did times b.mat, we see that we get the exact same thing. So it doesn't really matter which order we do it in terms of R. R is not going to worry about it. What about a column one? So we have our matrix, our bvect. We can look up the class of bvect. We can see that it says it's a matrix. And if we multiply it, we see that we're going to be multiplying a 4 by 4 by a 4 by 1. If we try to reverse these, we will see that it's going to end up giving an error. So percent star percent b.mat. And it says it's an error because it's not conformable. Why? Because it's 4 by 1 times a 4 by 4. So the columns here does not match the number of rows here. What about when we take this mat? And notice that when we did this separation here, in order to retain the matrix version of our vector, our b vector, we had to put the drop equals false. And that drops the other formatting that's in there and turns it into a vector usually. But this will maintain the vector class, the matrix class. So R times vect is an R vector. And then if we try to multiply it the other way, it's not going to work. Okay, So this we can actually take a rows. Here we can take columns, and we're making sure that we're dropping. And in order to make sure that your columns and rows are the same when you do use the percent star percent operator, matrix multiplication operator. Great, and we'll see you in the next video.